Ethical and welfare issues surrounding Premarin mares. Hello, my name is Amy Wrightson, and today I want to talk to you about the ethical and welfare issues that arise in the PM industry with horses, mares, and their young, and the dangers that imposes on them. And not only that, the dangers that this drug actually causes to women that take it, that are going through the menopause. It's quite a dark subject, and we're going to have a look more into how it all started, the history of it, and what can be done.
In previous years, horses were either taken to slaughter and used for glue or dog meat, or abandoned after they had been worked so hard within certain industries such as load carrying, wagon pulling and ploughing. However, in today's age,
This industry started to come to light between the mid-1930s and 1940s, when research started to take place. And within one drug firm, that estrogen taken from urine of a mare that was pregnant could help contribute to the effects of women going through the menopause in a positive way. This then became common knowledge to many other firms within the pharmaceutical industry, and a new sought-after industry was born, creating hundreds of new farms with the intention of delivering this specific urine to these industries under contract. And 60 years on, it's still a thriving business. Unfortunately, with mares paying the sad price and are used like products on a production line, supplying the needs of other people's welfare, while in the process there's not being taken into consideration. This is due to their needs not being met, due to their environments being poor, them being impregnated and being forced to stand in small stalls about 1.1 metres to industry standards for horses weighing less than 900 pounds and 5 feet for anything 1,700 pounds or above. Yet this is twice as small as what the dimensions of a regular stable should stand at. From here, the mares are fitted with bags that collect the urine and are often deprived of water to allow their urine to become more concentrated for exposure of estrogen. It is believed to be this way. However, the Humane Society of the United States reported in 2007 the pharmaceutical companies now claim that access to water has now been modified. Yet, humane organisations are still restricted from farms to be able to monitor this, and now if it actually is true practice. Ethical theories. From the menopausal woman's point of view, joint stiffness and night sweats as well, memory loss, tinnitus, vaginal dryness and pain, along with many more. This is due to the estrogen deficiency that occurs when menopause takes place, and is the first group really. The second group that comes into this is also like the psychological things that happen to ladies through the menopause because of the estrogen deficiency that happens, such as things such as your high risk of mental health, depression and anxiety that goes with it, because of the hormone imbalances that happen when going through the menopause. From a farmer's perspective though, the benefit that these PMU farms can have on like local economies goes quite a long way. Also it brings jobs, it brings locals employment, like jobs and ways to enable them to feed their families and look after themselves and have a roof over their head. So if it wasn't for the work available here, then communities within these areas that rely on the employment, they just wouldn't be able to live or thrive, eat, and could suffer because of the consequences if these farms weren't around. And the farmer here has a utilitarian view on this matter. From the farmer's point of view, this is because expressing that horses providing urine in this way may not only help the pharmaceutical industry, but also provides a better way of life for the people that work within these PMU farms. From the pharmaceuticals point of view. Pharmaceutical perspective on this is that Pfizer is a pharmaceutical company that processes the drug Premarin and supplies it to patients in need while going through the menopause. It is a multi-million pound business, must I say, industry that in order to make this drug exploits the farmers who work hard within the industry by low pay, long hours and really poor conditions really. And it causes suffering to the horses supplying the drug due to low welfare standards, due to the way they're kept, due to restricted water to get the concentration of the drug, the estrogen in the urine, a lot stronger to help. Also as well, these horses are pregnated. They have to stand all of the time that they're pregnant in stalls supplying the urine for this drug, and then they have the foal. Depends what happens to the foal as well. Consequences could be quite dark with that, and then they're pregnated again, and it just goes on and on and on until basically they're no good for purpose, and it's a very poor life for them, and this is due to the companies doing this kind of thing. The basic standards really are just not being met at all for the welfare of these horses. And from here, it has also started to move the business of PMU horses to China. So this is to avoid certain things like the Food and Drug Administration's protection of the companies, and within that makes the situation in China and the animal welfare standards over there completely different and poor, extremely poor, which is very detrimental to the horses' welfare even more. It also goes to show as well that these pharmaceutical companies are not really interested in where it comes from, as long as it's a cheaper option. If they can override certain standards to get a product on a cheaper version, they're not concerned about anybody's welfare, including the farmers that work for them, because the people in Canada and those areas that do or did supply these farms for this company, when the pharmaceutical companies like Pfizer do move over to China, then those people lose their jobs. Either way, even though it's not the greatest form of welfare for the horses, these people still lose their jobs. So the pharmaceutical companies are not really out, they're only out to make business, and that's where it is from there. They're literally there to make the business and the money, and they don't really care about the people around them. So what solutions can we come up with to make this better for everybody? Unfortunately, it's not all positive when it comes to the drug Premarin, as we are already aware on the effects of the horses, but how does this affect women taking it? Due to numerous potent horse estrogens that are not found in humans, these can have a negative effect on the human body, some being life-threatening, such as blood clots, increase of heart attack and stroke, increased risk of endometrial cancers and breast cancers. It can also lead to things such as depression, when we already know that depression can be caused by menopause, along with anxiety being the same. These tablets can also cause these things. So could that double it and make the way we feel even worse if we don't agree with the medication? And is there anything else out there that could be safer for us to use? And so why can this not be the case when it comes to Premarin? Well, there is actually other alternatives, but most women using the drug are not aware of how it is made and where these products come from, unfortunately. But if so, this can make a huge difference in the future of this medicine. If awareness was raised on different platforms, this could possibly make a huge difference and change the course of the future. Not just for the women, but the horses also, along with providing new types of jobs for people on these farms. Traditional natural HRTs involve consuming plants or supplements containing compounds that may elevate hormonal symptoms. These can derive from a number of supplements and plants. Phytoestrogens, these are a natural form of estrogen and are found in plant-based foods and plants such as legumes, whole grains and seeds. There are a number of other supplements out there as well, such as St. John's wort. This is a herbal supplement used to help reduce depression and derive from a plant. There's also red clover, evening primrose oil. It's derived from the seeds of evening primrose and creates a protective coating around the nerve fibres, and omega fatty acids that are found in fish oils. These can also be accompanied by regular exercise, mindfulness and cold water therapy. Cold water therapy is a great experience and very invigorating. It's great for pain, which is one of the side effects of the menopause, joint pain. And a lot of ladies have gone down the route of wild water swimming because they find that it helps. However, natural supplements are not regulated, meaning their quality and purity along with overall contents can vary throughout brands and batches. So more areas of research would need to take place, a brighter future for all. But let's hope that this is not so far away, especially in the modern world that we now live in. I've come to the conclusion that the world is revolving. There are things in place trying to make things better for this industry. We already have things in place such as jackets that they are trying to put onto horses so mares can be out in the field and roam freely, while they still collect urine from these horses. Also, synthetic ways. Things are being researched all of the time in many ways to see if these things can make a difference. Also, research has been done where there's not as many of these farms as there used to be, especially in Canada. Unfortunately, that does mean that some of the places are in China, but the world is a modern place, and hopefully with the campaigning and everything else that goes with it, we can come together and bring it more to a brighter future. And let more people know about it as well, because I certainly will. I certainly will be letting people know what I know now and change people's minds. Thank you. I'm Amy Wrightson, and thank you for taking the time to watch my video on the ethical views of PMU farms for horses and how this could possibly change. Thank you.